Okay. Saturday, May 2017. What I want to do is just go over real quick on some charts, something I picked up on here. Okay, so what we have here is a 10-day. These are just 1 minute dots on here and just some moving averages, whatever, 377, 610, 987. Hey, just pick a number. It's just Jody McFetzo's way of drawing in a trend line without having to draw in a trend line. All right. First thing I want to point out is here is you have market profile. Okay, this is volume. What does it say? Volume by price. Okay, so what this tells me is I call it the happy place. This is the bell curve. Okay, right? One bell curve. So this everybody's happy here. The price goes higher. The bulls are happy, but the bears aren't. Okay. So come across. So what do we have here? We have the all-day slide on Wednesday. Okay, and then you got your action, equal and opposite reaction kind of thing, sort of. Law of diminishing returns. Okay, so all right, so you guys took the calls on the bounce. Okay, and you took it up to here, but what it did is it stalled out at the happy place. Okay, so right now my bias is that we're going to continue lower if we take out the lows down here. In this case, on the Qs, what do we have? 136. We'll say if 136 is taken out, then the thing it'll be a persistent drop, and that's what I'll work on this weekend. That's how far is down. I did post a chart on Friday that had SPX drop into 2100 and it'll still be in a bull phase. That was the point figure at StockTwits / Kevin Bance. There you go. Nothing like some free stuff. I know how you guys like free stuff. All right, so just going to run through a few of them right now. You can see that the money came out of it here on the unbalanced volume, unbalanced volume came down. You can see money came in. They got caught here. Basically, this is a trap. All right, so I expect a further slide. Typically, when the president leaves the United States, he's at risk, and equities sell off. So the market, I'm going to guess that this selling may go away. If the highs are taken out, okay, if the highs are taken out, the angle of ascent will increase sharply, but you're going to begin to see divergences in your weekly indicators and stuff like that, monthly. So we're kind of long in the tooth, and we're working on a recession, things of that nature. So those are the cues, but I just going to run through a few of them real quick, and I'll post this up and go into something a little bit more in depth. DIA, same thing. This one, I'm going to say 210 is going to be held. It's going to be a while here before 210 is taken out here on the Dow. There's still long on here. You need to have some more of these slide and actually get out of there, so we can have one more slide lower. That should begin to get people to come out of it. So what do we have? Dow, DIA, Russell, IWM we'll use. I get more of a volume thing. Russell, I believe, is the weakest of the bunch. You can see here now they're beginning to come out of this thing. Dropped off down here and rolling over. Okay, so here's where you saw the money come in. Onesie, twosie traders are usually show up on unbalanced volume, and the big money shows up in here. Well, let's take a look. You know what? Let's keep going here. What do we have here? Oil index, XOI, SOX. What are the ones do we have? Mid caps, MID. Try that one out. Take a look. MID. Well, how about MDY? Why? Because we like you. MOUSE. There you go, Disney. I'm not giving you a nickel. How about that for royalties? Okay, so here you can see this is classic right here, MDY. You can see that once the sell-off went on last week, the money came out of it. And then on this dip here, whatever, the money flowed back into it. I will assume, but I'll remember that a lot of these can be used in program trading, and it's kind of thin here, 1.2 million. So they get flushed here. I mean, think about it. They get flushed here, but they buy here, and then they're still holding on. So you have the dip buyers coming in here on the mid caps. We're in the part of the economy that it's basically over the counter mids and growth stocks. You don't want to hold on to smokestacks. And those mature companies. What do we have here? Transports, DJT. What is that? That's an IYT. ITY. IYT. Is that it? Transports ETF. Okay, yeah. So this one's sold off here. So what I would do is I'd probably come into the transports here on the next leg down kind of thing. You can see that the pros bought in on the low on the open and then pushed it higher here. I need because I need the volume. You're going to give me an OEX. Index going to give me volume, and that giving me volume. So that'd be, what do we have here? We have TNA. Wait, TNA. Okay, 54 looks to be overhead supply here for a while. These do look like bear flags for right now, but like I said, all it has to do is take out this, and then we can actually work on the gap a little bit more. But you can tell the overhead supply. You can see the bodies came out of this here. So they have to rush back in. You know, they come out of here and then it goes back up and they come chasing after it. I'm anticipatory, not reactionary. I learned very early I had to look forward for the next couple of days. So what I do today is what's going to happen tomorrow. That's why a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense. I'll just take, what did we do? And yeah, QQQs, SPY. Did we do SPY? I think we did DIA. And that's right. I fired my my union writers and technicians, cameramen. It's just all it is just talent now. That's all we have is just the talent. All right, SPY. You can see overhead supply here. It's just 240 is going to be a problem for a while here. Basically, like I said, it rolled on up into resistance area here, so I expect it to come on down here. We shall see. So you can see how the money came into the dip buyers came flying into this thing. SPY, what do we got? SPY, IWM, I did that. TNA, I guess I can go to, now here, I think it's NUG. Look at NUG and the other guy, because I want to show you how, okay, the GDX one. You can see the bodies flying in here on the gold, and then they came out of it on the sell-off here. And this is sideways action here. It does look like a head and shoulders here. So I'd expect for right now for it to continue lower. But if gold can manage to pull something out on Sunday, Monday, we might have a run to that 1335 area. So I want to look into it. I posted about a bear flag. Well, that'd be GLD, right? What do we have? Well, we have a lot of supply up here. So I wrote this off as a bear flag for right now, but it's doing the sideways action. So if it takes this out, then we might be on the way to 130 on here. Let's see here, 1190. So that's off by what? Gold's at 12. Was it $5 or something? So it'd be $12.45, $12.50. Yeah, about $5 or so. You can see how they spiked in here. They came into here. Hold on, hold on a second here. Some money's coming out of it. That's quite the interesting deal. Dichotomy, juxtaposition, whatever. Look at that. Up comes down, up comes down, up comes down, up comes down, up. So this is what? London, Asian, London, and then America. Woo! Look at that though, right? Open at that, come down. Open at the high, come down. Open at the high, come down. Open at the high. This is just, I love this. I talk about that. I get up for a year up. I go to bed, Asia lunch, and get up at midnight. It's almost working. It's almost working. What I need is my own place. But 5 dogs, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's not a good time to wake me up, you guys. And they didn't know how to howl until the one dog came back from when the girls broke up in Palm Springs. Taught them how to bark at the doorbell, knocking, and howl. They don't know how to play fetch. Crazy thing. And one of the 5 are a hunter, the huntress. All right, so back on track here. Okay, so gold, what was it? It was GDX, I think it was. GDX fell apart. I think it was something. I can't remember. One of them was ugly. Did you write down on your notes, Kev? Of course not. Million charts. I didn't want to type in 500 symbols for this stuff, and I couldn't properly scan it. So I finally was able to save it as an HTML and import it into Excel. But what I need to do is learn how to take a column and export that with commas. That would save my life. These spaces are killing me. Comma only takes a couple of minutes, but we have the ADD thing. Oh, geez. We're only up to the G's. Most people stop by J when they're going through the newspaper. All right, so I'm possibly head and shoulders here on the gold. What was the one? Nug? What's the other one? Yeah, Nug. What is it? We have Dust. JDST, Dust. How's the other one? Nug? Ugh, gosh, I can't remember. What about the oil ones? Whatever. Close enough, right? Did we go through all of them? Nasdaq, 100, mid-caps, OEX. Morgan Stanley, stocks. Is that something about stocks? That didn't give me anything? No. Basically, bro. Well, you can, so this would be like an A, B, C pattern for the bulls, or this is 1, 2, and then we're going to get a hard slide. Like I recommended, buy, sell June, July calls and buy August, September puts. All right, I think that's going to do it, right? We got the IWM, Qs, Dow, and the S&P, right? That's good. Yeah, XAU, XAU. Oh, yeah, and take their indexes. They don't. Nug. What the hell's the other one? Jane. Oh, Jane. Is that the one? One of them. The money just came out of it. It was like, okay, something's not right. Definitely not right here. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. But just like I said before, is what I'm looking for here is that the overhead supply on the bell curve. The happy places are above now. Happy places are above, so the bulls are in trouble. So one more slide through here, it'll be a lot of puke. And that's that. So I'll leave this at that, and then I'll start running through all the other charts. Hasta del fuegos, people, or whatever that means. Toodles.